Dudes, it's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So we got another episode of This Week in Warframe with the entire weekly reset, and this week we're getting the final Infested Lich dev stream. Yes, Infested Liches will be out in a matter of weeks, as they are confirmed in March of this year, and we'll get the full details on Friday. But that's not it. We've also got a bunch of other stuff going on this week too, so it's a great time to be a Warframe player. Starting with the first weekly reset item, but we are also recording this live on stream if you haven't come by. We got the Shotgun Riven mod. There is a new Infested Lich shotgun that's called the Mercy Shotgun, so we'll see what that ends up doing. Probably will enable Mercy kills. But yeah, additionally, the Belly of the Beast Arcane Energized Farming event does have its final full week starting like tomorrow, today kind of situation. So yeah, 7 days, 18 hours, and also Star Days, 9 days, 15 hours. So those are going away, but the big one is the Belly of the Beast, giving you access to Arcane Energize and Avenger really, really easily. So if you haven't done that yet, the Arcane should be relatively low platinum price right now, but you can also just grind them out through easy gameplay doing alerts here and there. So go check out my event guide if you haven't checked that out already. But yeah, also Archon shards will be on deck. These Infested Liches should be pretty deadly. From the combat preview we got to see, they are looking really deadly. We're talking like multiple hundred toxin damage hits per attack, which is going to one-shot a lot of frames. So be ready for maybe potentially some pretty deadly encounters. Over here at the Dorma Zone, our Pathos Clamps of the week are going to be mainly used for Incarnons, but we also got some options here if you want to grab these instead. Or maybe in addition if you're really farming. Got Orokin Reactor Blueprint for Pathos Clamps, 20 of those. Also got Pistol Riven for 15 Pathos Clamps, an Exilus Warframe Adapter for 20 Pathos, or a secondary Archon Adapter for also 25 Pathos. So some pretty high Pathos prices, but good, powerful items for what you're, dropping those Pathos on. Additionally, in that March update, there's going to be a change that makes Floriforma into Omniforma. So last week in the calendar, we had a Auraforma already built, which was an extremely generous item there. Let's see if this week can compete with last week. I doubt it because that was seriously good. Okay, so your calendar buff, these are buffs that are active in 1999 missions, but also some good weekly loot. Basically look at it as like Nightwave 2.0, pretty much. But yeah, after you get the first challenge unlocked, your options are going to be Toxic Shot, which gives gas status chance for primary and secondary weapons, or Practice Precision, giving melee crit chance, which is good for like slam attack weapons. And also you got the third choice as Got Your Back, giving Spectre and Companion damage boost. I don't even know which one I'm going to pick because I've been mainly going for Power Strength buffs this season. So I guess I'm going to go for, we'll see later actually, after you get Aui's birthday. And you get a guaranteed, so this is what I said, this is like Nightwave 2.0 right here, guys. You have a guaranteed mod booster in the Nightwave track, or the calendar track. But here's the problem. You have a guaranteed red Archon shard as the other choice. So a very hard decision for your first drop, and you only have to do 250 tech rot kills to get access to this choice. Mod booster is going to double the chance of Endo to drop, and mods to drop also makes Arcanes drop more from Thrax in Void Cascade. And red Archon shards are just really strong, giving, power strength and stuff like that. After that, you got another easy challenge, and your choices will be 6k Endo or a secondary Archon Adapter afterwards. And after that, you get a Riven mod or a singular Arcane. I say go for the Riven. Those Arcanes are not that hard to get. And then after that, your next buff choices will be Targeted Medicine, which shooting a health orb will pick it up and give you a chance to duplicate the health orb. So you can multi-stack these. So if you had like 4 weeks of this to be guaranteed to be duplicating orbs, would be kind of crazy. But for a singular one, I don't think I'm going to run that, but maybe I will. Combo Killer, giving Combo Multiplier increases the chance of enemies being susceptible to finishers after a melee hit. 5% per, maximum 65% with Venka Prime. Interesting. And looks like we have a new perk this week called Free Shot. Triggering a status proc has a 10% chance to reload. Oh my gosh! Has a 10% chance to reload the triggered bullet into the clip. What is this? That is crazy for frames that spam AoE rocket launchers. Oh my gosh. I will have to take that for sure. Free Shot from Quincy, an extremely powerful buff. After that, you get another easy challenge. And another great selection in here. a Orkin Catalyst blueprint or an Orkin Reactor blueprint. So you also get to choose another great drop here, putting this on a weapon or on a frame or companion. Okay, the loot is poured in this week. You got 2K. Okay, well this one is not as good. You got 2K Kuva or 1 Arcane. Have fun with that one. Another, oh my gosh, these buffs are going nuts. We got another power gains here. It's the third time I'm going to have this. Another 25% power strength at all times of these missions. Or another toxic shot, which has been here twice this week. Or emergency medicine, giving all restoration effects provided by orbs increased. And oh my gosh, this is nuts. It is a double mod booster option this week. I take it back. Okay, so for the earlier one, you could get a 3-day mod. You can get a 3-day mod booster or a red shard. Now you could probably get the red shard because there's another mod booster in this track. Unless you want 6 days of mod booster, there is a second mod booster or 6K Kuva. I would say probably go for the second mod booster, but dang, DE is outdoing themselves with these crazy good calendar loot drops. So very nice on that front. Like, actually, wow. I didn't think the Aura Forma could be beaten, but I would like to remind you that those mod drop boosters are only obtainable from Barokatir and from Sorties. There might be like one more location in the game, but those are the two I remember. The big thing is you cannot purchase them in the market. So if you want to get a mod booster, well, actually, I take it back. There's like 3 locations, and one of them is the spot we just saw. So yeah, the 4th spot is going to be the Steel Pass Circuit rank ups, but those are also RNG to spawn too. So really, really nice stuff. Now that we're over here at the EDA, this will be a nice spot to get some more Archon shards if you have access to this, which requires rank 5 with the Kavia Syndicate. Okay, so we've got the first mission, Exterminate, second mission, Alchemy, and the third mission, Mere Defense. That is not what you want to see, because this objective can die and make you have to do the whole thing over again. But yeah, as far as what we got here, for the Exterminate, which should be a nice free mission for you, Fissure Cascade. Fissures rip into the mission, cause enemies to level up. Destroying those fissures will make them not level up anymore. Isn't that big of a deal? Alluring Archonids, the second modifier. As rogue Archonids charge their attacks, they will pull Warframes towards them. Those are the dog robots. And the final one, Bold Venture. Enemies deal less damage and take more damage, but also have increased movement speed, attack speed, and fire rate. Not that big of a deal. Pretty much entirely free first mission. Second mission, Alchemy. Alchemic Invulnerability. One of my least favorite modifiers in the whole game. Some of the enemies are immune to damage unless you throw the correct elemental grenade at them, which will be a little icon above their head. So, yeah. I don't like that one at all. It's just be a bunch of immune enemies standing around that are hopefully CC'd. So bring Gloom and stuff like that to make them not able to move that much, because you don't want to waste your grenades on those things. Next, another awful modifier, Explosive Potential. Rupturing Fragments replace the Shuffling Fragments. When I say awful, I mean like it's like awful because it can actually kill you. It's actually kind of fun. The enemies will explode. Like the arm enemies that crawl along the ground, they will explode instead of just, dying normally. So they deal a lot of damage, so be careful about those, especially with all these other invincible enemies that will be around them. And then the last one, Entanglement. Allies within 4 meters of a slain enemy endure reduced parkour movement speed and velocity. So, yeah. Final one, Mere Defense. Please don't be terrible. Okay, first one, Glyph Inflation. The security system requires twice as many glyphs to activate, so you have to collect 100 glyphs to activate the defenses, which is quite a lot. Next, Guardian Eximus units may be encountered, including Guardian Eximus Max. Okay, so these aren't that bad. And the last one, all enemies have Overguard equal to 50% of their maximum health. That might be a little bit more annoying, but a lot of them already have Overguards, so that's not too big of a deal in my opinion. So maybe be careful about that mech button if you don't have a properly prepared team. But yeah, the fact that it's not constant taking damage is already great, in my opinion. For your personal modifiers, Gear Embargo means no Spectres. Abbreviated abilities means your duration is destroyed. Lethargic Shields means your recharge for your shields is destroyed. And Frame Curse Syndrome also means that whenever you cast an ability, you will take damage. So these are actually some pretty bad personal modifiers now that I look at it. So yeah, maybe a pretty nightmarish final mission. But good luck with it. If you go through that potential evil mission, you can get a ton of Archon shards, including Archon Tau shards. For a guaranteed non-Archon Tau shard, but still an Archon shard nonetheless, you got Bird 3's weekly shard, which also requires rank 5 of the Kavia Syndicate, and it's a red shard. So if you have really bad luck and you get a bunch of things that aren't Archon shards, at least Bird 3 could hook you up once per week with a red shard this week, which is one of the best ones to see. That's just 30,000 reputation. Alright, so we move on to the Incarnons and also the Archon Hunt, another great source of good loot. So yeah, this Belly of the Beast event, if you were to like grind out Energize and get that, and then get Archon Shards from all this stuff, you would be getting a great addition to your builds. But as it stands right now, you don't have to grind out the Arcanes. They're not required, they're just really, really helpful. Alright, for the weekly Archon Hunt, you got the Nora Archon, which gives yellow Archon Shards, amber Archon Shards. And for your mission types, you got Exterminate, Survival, and the Final Boss Showdown. A very, very straightforward Archon Hunt this week, which is nice. Moving on to the circuit, let's see what normal path circuit frames we have. Okay, we got some good ones this week. We got Ivara, nice. We got Inaros, which is pretty good too. And then we also got Titania. So some really good choices for normal circuit. Ivara comes from spy missions, so if you don't really want to farm a bunch of spy missions, you should probably pick her. Inaros comes from a quest, I believe, and getting the second copy of him is from Cephalon Samaris. So that would be saving some Samaris scanning, technically. And Titania is also from a quest, and then the second copy from Samaris as well. So either you can save some Samaris scanning if you want the second copy, or you can get Ivara and skip a bunch of spy missions. As someone that has helped some people farm Ivara from spy missions in the past, getting her guaranteed here is very, very nice. But, you know, it's up to you at the end of the day. As far as the Steel Path circuit and Incarnons, we have some very powerful Incarnons this week, but with a caveat. There is going to be some changes in the March update that might potentially make you not want some of these certain ones as much. Alright, but as far as what we have the Lex Incarnon, the Magistar Incarnon, the Boltor Incarnon, the Bronco Incarnon, and the Ceramic Dagger Incarnon. So, if you haven't played in a while and you already have these Incarnons, you can grab things like Rivens or Kuva instead, but let's focus on what these Incarnons do. The Lex Incarnon is a sniper pistol that its Incarnon form will get increased radiation damage. Well, you'll build in radiation damage and get punched through. It basically becomes an Archiplasmor shot. It will cover a large chunk of area, and it has forced impact procs, meaning that you use the mod that causes impact procs to create slash procs, Hemorrhage. It's really, really strong. Basically a nearly guaranteed slash proc and an Archiplasmor type pistol shot with really, really big crit upgrades in the final tier, like Critical Parallel, giving you crit chance and crit damage. This is a great Acolyte one-shotter pistol. Now, I do need to make a new video on it, so I'll maybe work on that this week. But yeah, really great if you want to one-shot Acolytes because it has so much crit. Additionally, Hoplite Virtue, whenever your shield breaks, you get like 80 more base damage, which is a lot of base damage in Warframe. So yeah, if you're like someone that, you know, your shields are breaking, you're playing Grendel with low shields or something like that, that shield breaks, massive, like basically double damage pretty much. And other perks are pretty good too. So really, really powerful pistol, one of the best pistols in Warframe. Now, is it as good as the Furus? Against Acolytes, yeah. But on other enemies, not really as good as the Furus. So yeah, great for crits and other utility stuff, but you know, it's technically not the best in the game in my opinion, but some people do think it's the best in the game. Magistar Incarnon, speaking of the best in the game, we have the largest slam radius, besides maybe the Archititron with its special perks stacked up, slam radius heavy weapon here. This thing destroys. I'll have a new Magistar video this week on the normal Magistar, but just to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence for you guys, I'm going to also make sure I got the Sancti Magistar fully tested for a comparison video in the future as well. Now, as far as the difference between the Sancti Magistar and the Magistar normal, it's going to be the power of the perks on these things. When you see on the Magistar right here, it says 60% crit chance, 1x multiplier. That would be a different stat on the Sancti Magistar, which is why things can be influenced quite a bit by mods. So, yeah, that being said, one of the great uses for this thing, besides large AoE slam attacks, is currently using as a stat stick on Korra, or other frames too, technically, to get crazy ability stats. But that is being removed in March. Stat sticks will no longer exist in March for Whipclaw and some other abilities too. And that's, the Magistar Normal was the strongest Whipclaw stat stick, so that functionality is being removed, but as I said, it is still an extremely large slam AoE size, with the Seismic Slam perk giving 100% increased slam radius, and Critical Parallel giving a ton of extra crit chance and crit damage. As far as what the difference between, which one should you pick? If you want maximum crits, go for the Magistar Normal. If you want more status chance and some additional utility, go for the Sancti Magistar. And I'll be doing a Sancti Magistar video probably in the future with maybe even melee influence on Slam. But yeah, normally just go for the Magistar Nora for the maximum crit. And that change of stat 6 being removed will also influence the Ceramic Dagger later, just a heads up on that one. But yeah, this is still one of the best weapons in the game as far as the AoE destruction, so I would still pick it as number 1 even with that nerf on the way. Okay, Boltor Incarnon is the next one. If you want to see this thing in action at level 10,000s, I have it in my Rhino video from like a week or 2 ago. But yeah, long story short, it's a nail gun, which when it goes into Incarnon form becomes a multi-shot, like, slash-focused shotgun nail gun. So that's pretty good. It sounds pretty good. It looks pretty good. It's pretty powerful in mission, but it is not exactly like, a space weapon that's like destroying the entire area with like seeker missiles. It's just a slash shotgun. So that's good. That's still good though. But at the end of the day, this thing covers an entire hallway in a shot of like Archoplasma shot with the Lex. This is a slash shotgun that is relatively single target. So that being said, if you want to use this thing, it's more on the rifle side, a full auto shotgun like situation. It's still really good, and you can watch that video if you want to see it in action at high levels. But yeah, you got the Boltor Prime and the Telos Boltor. The Telos Boltor has more crit, and the Boltor Prime has more base damage and status chance with still good crit. So I'd say go for the Boltor Prime, but in that video, I think I used the Telos Boltor. So they're both good choices, and just, the Telos Boltor has a special perk as well that lets you, I believe, have increased movement speed or something, and you also get an AoE gas proc, so not that big of a deal. But yeah, they're both really good. A lower recommendation this week, probably like number 4, but yeah, still a relatively decent workhorse Incarnon. Next, this will likely be the last recommendation this week, but I did use it in a recent video with Ash, the Bronco Incarnon. The thing about the Bronco Incarnon is that this weapon is very clunky feeling. This thing has I think a 4-round magazine at base. So that is, and it also has not the best reload speed either, or recoil. So a lot of downsides to it. But as far as what this thing does in its Incarnon form, it will chain its shots to nearby enemies. And with the special Dizzying Rounds augment mod, which is available in this Nightwave season, those shots will cause finishers on those enemies. So it is great for utility. If you were about to use the Bronco and the Ceramic Dagger together, which if you know what the Ceramic Dagger does, this is a great utility weapon to cause finishers on enemies with that mod. It's also good for DPS too. Those ricochet shots have good stats and can cause some pretty good damage. So I've used it for level 10,000 DPS with perks like Commodore's Fortune giving this thing red crits. Really, really nice on that front. But yeah, as far as a good go-to DPS pistol, this thing is way too clunky for me to actually recommend it to you. It's a mostly utility weapon, and technically the utility could be used without the Incarnon too. So yeah, if you have the augment, it's great to consider. But if you don't have the augment, it's the lowest recommendation this week for sure. And for the final Incarnon this week, we have the Ceramic Dagger Incarnon. Now, this thing is very strong. It is. But one of the best features of it is being a versatile stat stick for multiple frames. These perks on this thing, such as Absolute Dominion giving crazy status chance, or Absolute Valor giving crazy crit chance, those were great for lots of different frames. But again, as I said for the Magistar, stat sticks are being removed in March in the Infested Lich update. So those buffs right there should not affect your Whip Claw anymore, shouldn't affect your Gara's Shattered Lash, whatever you're using these things for, so keep that in mind. But what does this thing do if we're not using it as a stat stick? Well, it actually releases spectral daggers on heavy attacks that can do some pretty nice damage. Additionally, it has an amazing perk that's not getting nerfed in March called Gun and Blade. On a primary weapon kill, initial combo increase up to 100 times. So you could still use this in March after they, air quotes, nerf stat sticks for an outburst stat stick. Just get some primary kills. Use your Boltor, use your Tauren, use your Latron or whatever. Get a bunch of kills. This thing gets 100 extra combo all the time, and then you can use the you can use the Pistol Arcane secondary outburst to drain all your combo and massively increase your crit damage. And then, since it has initial combat, it will refill it up as well. So great stuff there. That being said, it's still pretty good for just, heavy attacks and stuff like that too. So a very high stat dagger. After all that explanation, what are the best Incarnons this week? Number 1, Magistar. Even if it's getting nerfed for Korra stat stick, it's got a Giganto AoE. You will destroy everything. People ask for this thing to be nerfed because it's so powerful. And yeah, you're not going to go wrong with the Magistar Normal or the Sanctity Magistar, but I would recommend the Magistar Normal if you want to go for the one that I use. And for number 2, Lex Incarnon. Acolyte delete button. Might as well call that thing by that name. But yeah, really good. for clearing out a large hallway of enemies and hitting Eximus really hard in the face, too. It does require headshots for the Incarnon, so just keep that in mind, but I mainly use you as a sniper pistol. As far as afterwards, Cermak Dagger would be third place, but it being nerfed as a stat stick is going to affect its overall usefulness. And then Boltor number 4 and Bronco number 5. Hope that was helpful to you guys. Let's take a look at those Nightwave challenges. If you didn't get enough loot from your calendar earlier, let's see what else we got. Okay, for your Nightwave challenges this week, we got Earth Miner. Mine 3 rare gems in the ore in the Plains of Eidolon. Next, Polarize. Polarize a weapon, companion, or warframe, not in the sim. Keep in mind, there is a drop on the big dev stream on Friday that is an Omniforma. Or actually, it's an Auraforma. They'll become Omniforma in March. So, yeah. You could maybe wait on this one and recover it later if you don't want to waste Forma. But, yeah, just make sure it's not in the sim. First Elite Weekly. Kill the Profit Taker. This requires rank 5 with the Fortuna Syndicate. And it's a pretty easy fight if you know what to do. If you don't know what to do, it might take you a little bit longer. But, yeah, if you can knock it out, get some credits. And then the last Elite Weekly, unlock 10 relics of any type. You could just knock out 10 Lith relics, technically, which are like level 5 missions. Then your permanent weeklies, Eximus Eliminator, mission complete, and not a warning shot. As far as your Nightwave cred store here, let's see how that sorting's looking this week. It's looking pretty good. So you got evergreen stuff at the top, such as, oh my gosh, there's a Cyto 9 helmet here. I don't even know if I have this. Okay, Cyto 9's helmet is in the Nightwave. Wow. This is a loot week right here. They're giving away Cyto 9's helmet in the Nightwave. And there's no Night Tane needed either. This is easy crafting requirements. Oh my gosh. This is a great Nightwave week. Wow. And Comey's helmet is here too. So you got Comey's helmet and Cyto 9's helmet in the store for free. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right. I definitely noticed those. And Dagoth's helmet too. I've got a Dagoth video maybe on the way. They are loaded up this week. Jeez. Okay, going over some of this stuff, we got EMP Aura, Sniper Scavenger, Shield Disruption, Energy Siphon, Dreamer's Bond, Rifle Scavenger, and Steel Charge. As far as the best ones here, Steel Charge is great if you don't have it, but you might want to use your Nightwave creds on other stuff. Actually, no, this is only 20, so you should get Steel Charge if you don't have it already. As far as augment mods, you got Metamorphic Magazine for the Gorgon here, a great augment. Lets you petrify enemies in place. Efficient Beans and Covetrix giving you a bunch of status chance. Precision Strike for the Tonkor, giving you reload speed on direct hit. Exposing Harpoon for the Harpack. And Combat Reload for the Tigress, giving you a ton of extra reload, I believe. So yeah, really, really crazy good stuff here this week. We also got Rumble for Atlas, Power of 3 for Ivara, and Skull Shots for the Viper. And also the Jaw Sword for Mastery Fodder, and the Heat Sword for Mastery Fodder. And Wolf Beacons to boot. So you are spoiled for choices as far as what to do in Warframe with all this crazy loot. Let's just, put a cherry on top of the invigorations back here. These are random per player per week, so let's see what I got. And it looks like I got another Cyto 9 invigoration. Wow. Okay, so let's see what we got. So just because I have these doesn't mean you're going to have them either. It requires rank 5 with the Daimos Syndicate to get access to these options, or the option to even have this stuff unlocked. Okay, so I've got increased ability range for Jade of 100%, wow, and 5 jump resets. That should be really nice with Jade to have a huge healing and debuff area, and I'm pretty sure I have Jade for EDA too, so I'll probably have to play Jade for EDA. Very nice stuff there. Oh my god, what are these? All these good stats. I got ability efficiency and ability duration on Cyto 9. Would that actually be good? I guess it wouldn't really be good because I spam abilities on him, but this still seems pretty nice if you're not trying to shield gate on the razor's edge. So pretty good there. Please give me a crazy good Nyx one. Melee crit chance and reload speed. I mean, that's a little bit in between, I'd say. Get buff the melee up. I'm not really using melee on Nyx that much. But reload speed's good for my Angstrom. So either way, great stuff. I'm going to use all those probably. So you guys have a great week. Hope you enjoyed this video. I do daily Warframe YouTube videos on this channel, so you're in the right place for Warframe content. See you guys next time, and see you on stream. Peace.